your equipment when you get done to prevent from spreading the disease, which we try to do around here at least somewhat. If you don't sanitize, then you pretty much guarantee you're going to promote disease. This is a good example of biological controls. Root shield, you can put it on your plant if you're planting a new one, and it'll keep it from getting root rot. Does anybody got any questions? Am I going too fast? There are different types of fungicides. Not all fungicides are curative. Just make sure you read the labels and know what to put out when. These are this website right here, where, if I can get it to where's the mouse? This website right here is North Carolina North Carolina State University. It's an excellent way to get weed identification, disease, turf, different types of turf. These two books are mine, but you can buy them from Clemson, shopclemson.edu. This is the whole entire southeast, and these are southern weeds. Throughout the southeast, this is $40. This is about 25. This is a ornamentals. Every ornamental you can think of. It's the Holy Grail. It's called the Bible for ornamentals. You can get this on Amazon, eBay. It's $65 for this book.
What is an ornamental?
Ornamental is shrubs, boxwoods, lower petalum, azaleas, pittosporum. They're all kinds. They're anything that. Give me another example, Steve. Iliagnus. There's like 20,000 of them in here.
Wow.
So, just for reference, if you want one. Weed cycle is, there's two different types. There's annual, and there's really three. There's annual, biannual, and perennial. Of course, everybody knows that annual weeds, they just surface in the spring and die. And then they reseed and surface again next spring. Like I said, they can spread massively. This is Poa trivialis, which is a winter weed, and it very well spreads rapidly, very rapid. These white seeds that's on the top, once you cut them, it slings them everywhere, and then it just spreads from that point.
What's the best product to kill that?
To kill that, the best product to kill Poa triv is Dimension. You can get that at Possums, and put it out last month.
Yeah.
Because it is a winter weed. It shows up more in the spring, because it seeds in the winter, and then shows up in the spring. And that way, if you do Dimension, it's a 10-week program, and hopefully you get the seeds from germinating. You might can get it out now, and push it back to, but it's a 2-time process, so you got to do it twice. Of course, biannual weeds, they come back twice a year, which you know a lot of them. This is thistle, and this is, what's this right here? Anybody got a good guess?
False dandelion.
False dandelion. And they come back, they flower, seed, go away, come back next year. Perennial weeds, there's grasses. This is nutgrass on the top, and this is sedge right here. And they're hard to control. Only big control with them is image, and sledgehammer is a good control for both of those. And if you wanna do the old fashioned way, pull them, make sure you get the nuts.
The seed of
Yeah, the little nuts, they look like acorns on the bottom, and if you don't, they just sprout right back from that nut.
What is sledgehammer?
that chemical.
It's a chemical.
Oh,
You can get it at Possums.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, sledgehammer.
oh.
Sledgehammer, not sledgehammer.
I was thinking the same thing.
Not sledgehammer. The perennial reeds, this is Florida Betony. It looks great when it's flowering, but it's an obnoxious weed. It has tubers that look like this. If you break this tuber anywhere on this part, I mean anywhere,
Correct.
it'll grow right back, in a matter of 2 days.
Wow.
So if you're trying to pull it manually, make sure you get the whole thing. Anybody got any idea what kind of weeds these are without looking? The top one is goosegrass, which is a lot on the parade field, which we see a lot around here. The bottom one is crabgrass. You can tell the difference. Crabgrass has got a purple vein in the middle, in the center of it. Goosegrass is white. The center of it's white and compacted. This is very leggy and spreads out fast. And a good control for these two is dimension and hand weeding. If it's in a small residential area, you can hand weed it and pull it out, and hopefully you don't get it. This is dandelion. It's there's a lot of controls out there for weeds that are weed specific. You got broadleaf grasses, just depending on what all you want. Systemic, which means it takes it up through the roots, and like I said, the weed habits is non-weeds, grasses, rush, wild garlic, onion. There's those weeds you need to spray with a systemic that'll suck it up into the root system and not use a contact, because if you use a contact, it just kills it on the top up and don't get in the roots. Just make sure when you're mulching, if you use natural mulch, which is what we use around here, make sure it's a good weed preventative. There's different organic mulches. These are, this is the pine straw, and these are just two different types of mulches. And it just depends on what the client was looking for. If it's looking for a leafy mulch, you use pine straw. If they want, this is natural wood, of course this is dyed, this one's dyed. These are some organic ones. Excuse me, that's chewed up tires, rubber, stone, and there is a synthetic pine straw you can buy. And you can only buy that online. It comes in a 50-pound bag, and it's not cheap.
Wow.
Make sure when you have your site preparation that you're putting down mulch. It's mainly 2 to 4 inches on average around in your beds. That helps suppress the weeds, and due to weather and other controls, as it weathers, and you can go back and add more as it goes. Just prevent from weed controlling your rootstock. Don't plant a plant that's got something weeds already in it, because if you do, it's going to continue to grow. Try. Everybody, not everybody in this room does it. Not everybody that I see does it. You can get damage from your trees and shrubs if you do this. This is whipping. It's when you hit the base of the trunk and you continually whip it, it creates a scar, and therefore it it's susceptible to disease, and it will die. Flaming is used mostly in agriculture, and that's a propane tank, and you can go ahead and spray them or spot burn them, but you gotta be careful on how you do it. This is fumigants. That guy's putting down fumigants. It wipes out every insect in the ground. They put a black tarp over top of it to kill them, and it wipes off beneficials along with the insects, the diseases, and so you get sterile soil once those are done. And you just make sure if you want to use fumigants, mostly fumigants are used in big agricultural fields, and you don't see a whole lot of that around here. As you can see that where you need to have the herbicide layer on your turf, and if you got weeds, this is where they're right below that surface line that they show up. Do you have a question, Steve?
No, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
In regards to fumigants, is there any process that's not as extreme like that that you could use for like a residential thing? Or no?
No, because mostly fumigants will wipe out everything, and so it'll wipe out just regular worms. What do you call them? Roly-polies.
Mhm.
You know, and some of those are beneficial. That's going to help the soil, and because the worms are going to poke holes through it, it's going to aerate it, loosen it, keep it loose. Roly-polies will dig and tunnel, and depending on, this is mainly just for agriculture because they don't want anything growing from season to season to keep. If they've got root rot in their field and they fumigate it, then they'll get rid of all the disease in it. It's normally about an 8-week process. There's post-emergent herbicides. When you put out post-emergent herbicide, means the weed seed has already started to grow, and you do it early enough, you can get them, and it'll control all the weeds, hopefully, that you're looking to control. This is Scythe, which is a post-emergent herbicide. It's a contact, and it only kills from the ground up. And if you want to kill it, you need to use a systemic. Like I said, it'll go into roots and kill it. That's why we just mentioned, you know, there are post-emergent herbicides that are systemic, and which is what you want it to go up in the root system. This, I found, works excellent. Roundup plus N. Anybody know what N is? Come on, y'all gotta know what N is.
Nitrogen.
Shoot, nitrogen. If you add Roundup and Miracle-Gro, I use Miracle-Gro fertilizer. It's because it's blue. And put it 1-to-1. Put it in the gallon of your gallon sprayer, and the nitrogen speeds up the active ingredient in the Roundup, the glyphosate, and it sucks it up through the plant. The plant thinks it's getting fertilizer, when in actuality it's sucking in the glyphosate. About 5 days it's dead. So that helps out a lot. You already gone over this one. Post-emergent herbicides, which are non-selective. If you want to, you just got to make sure you read the labels, where it's broadleaf or grassy leaves, however you want to control it, make sure you read the labels. This, can anybody tell me what this is? Weed and feed besides that. What's it got in it?
Iron,
What's the 2738? 3 letters.
NPK.
NPK. What's it stand for?
Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.